Welcome back. So guys, as part of the previous session, we have seen how exactly we can install the Copilot, right? So what I'm doing is let me close the extension from the center portion of the screen, and from the left panel, click on a first link, which is an Explorer. Okay, the first tab, which is an Explorer, that will be taking me to this particular screen where I can see the empty code. So here we need to write down, let us try to write down a basic program. So here we are already on a JS basics. So here, if you look at these options, right, the first option when you mouse over on it, it is stating that it will be creating a new file. And if you mouse over on the second option, it will be a new folder. The third option, it will be refreshing it. So consider that let me create a new folder. Maybe I'm naming my folder as okay, so lessons. Okay, or I can say day one. Okay, I can name it as a day one. So this is the day one folder. Inside the day one folder, I'm creating my first script. Okay, first script, and whenever you are creating any script with respect to this JavaScript, you need to give an extension as a JS. Okay, .js is the extension that we have given for that. So the ultimate point that you need to consider here is you need to select this folder, and inside that you can select the new file option. Automatically this will be created. And another question that comes in your mind, is it mandatory for us to create a day one subfolder inside the JS basics? It's not mandatory. For me to organize the lessons in an easier way, I just marked it as a day one. That's it. If you want, you can directly maintain it in the base folder, which is a JS basics, directly creating the file. Okay, perfectly all right. So what I'm gonna write down. So ideally, so here is the screen where exactly the center panel of the screen where exactly we can write down our source code. And in the left panel, if you see the first option, right? So now click on the first option. As in when you click on a first option, the center portion of the screen is in an expanded mode, and the left side options are got a minimized for us right now. So here all these options were in this panel right now. So which is in a minimized mode. And I do have my script in a full maximized screen. So I need to write down a program here. So what we will be writing down. So in general, right, whenever any programming language that you start working on, you will be trying to print a message. So we will try to print a message to the console. We will try to print a message. So the point here is how can we print a message to this console in the JavaScript? So the point here is in JavaScript, we have a method which is console.log. So this method displays whatever the message that you have given for that, whatever the value that you have given for that, it will be displayed to that particular console. And the syntax for this particular one is okay, the syntax for this particular one here is console.log, and you need to put the desired message here. That's it. This is what the syntax for it. Okay, perfectly all right. So in order to do that, let us see the console message. So here console.log, I'm typing a string, hence I am putting it in a double quotes. So if you look at my screen, guys, basically as in when I press the double quote, hello comma old, in an background color, in a blurred color, it is displaying there. What exactly that? So it is a GitHub Copilot feature that it is giving me a suggestion to my code. So console.log, you can use a hello world. In order to get that piece of a code, you can simply use a tab from your keyboard. Automatically that line of code was generated and it ended with a semicolon. The similar way, I can also add console.log 5000 and with a semicolon. It's up to you whether you want to add a group of characters in a double quotes or a number that can be printed down to the console. Okay, perfectly all right. With that, what we have done right now, we have Excuse me. Yeah. So with that, what we have done right now, we have added a console.log here. So we created a basic JavaScript program. Okay. We created a basic JavaScript program that prints some information to the console. That's perfectly all right. So immediately a question that comes in our mind. So Surendra, how exactly I can run this piece of a code? Right, there are two different options how exactly you can run your code. So the first and a foremost thing is we need to load the terminal from this folder. In order to load the terminal from this folder, see here guys, I'm highlighting the options here at the top right corner. Among all those things, if you see the second option, toggle the panel, so click on it. If you see, the terminal is opening here. Okay, I have selected the second option from that last, from the last, the second option, or if you go from the first, it's gonna be the third option. Here, this page or this editor got a splitted as per that UI that you have selected, and the console is showing it up like this. Perfect. And let us look at the folder structure. Hence, I am clicking on the first option in the left panel. So if you observe the folder structure, inside the JS basics, you have a day one subfolder. And if you look at the terminal, we are on a JS basics. So in order to execute your JavaScript program, we have two ways. The first way is from the terminal. In the terminal, you need to switch to the folder where exactly your JavaScript file is. My JavaScript file is not in this JS basics. My JavaScript file is inside the day one, which is inside the JS basics. So here cd day one. So what it's gonna does, it is switching to that particular folder right now. See, as of now, my terminal is inside the day one folder. And in order to run the program, simply node first script.js. That's it. So whatever the name that you have given for your program, that particular name .js node followed by the program name.js. If you look at the program name that we have given, the first script.js node followed by first script.js, the same name that I have given there. As in when you hit the enter button, if you look at the console logs here, hello world and a 5000 both got a printed down to the console. So instead of a hello world, if I change my message to hello Surendra Jagannathan. Okay. And when I run this program again, see whatever the input message that you have given right now got updated and it got a printed down to the console. Okay. And it got a printed down to the console. Perfectly all right. Good. So now this is a one way. And what is the next way? The second way in order to execute the program? As said that there are two ways, right? So from the left panel, click on an extensions where exactly we have installed the GitHub Copilot, and I was picking for the code runner. Okay, and I was picking for the code runner. So code space runner. So basically that's the first option that it got populated, the code runner. And choose the install button. As in when you install it, you will be able to see the uninstall option right now. So here with which we can say that this got installed successfully. Okay, the code runner. See, basically this is the plugin, that extension that you need to install to your VS Code. Perfect. Once after the installation got completed, navigate to the Explorer tab, close this code runner from the central panel. And here at the top right corner, here you are able to see a play button. Okay, you are able to see this a play button there. See, I have highlighted a play button. So this will be enabled whenever you have installed that particular code runner. So in order to close this terminal at the footer, I'm clicking on this delete button. Okay, so as and when you click on a delete button, that got closed completely. Okay, now what I am doing here is let me click on a play button. As in, when you click on a play button, if you look at the console, basically the same execution got happened. Whatever the message is there and the number is there, it got printed down to the console. Whether you can run it from the terminal or you can run it with this option. Ideally, the code runner option is much more flexible. You no need to switch to the folder directly. You can hit the play button, automatically the output would be displayed in the console. Okay, perfectly all right. So this is the way how exactly we can create a basic program or a print program, a simple program here in this particular JavaScripting. Okay, perfectly all right. See you again in the next lecture. Thank you.